Yesterday, we finished reading this paragraph about the Buddhist cosmology and how we can aspire for heavenly rebirth, but if our faculties are mature enough, we should aim for the deathless Nibbana. I'm going to continue with the next one. While the first two texts in this chapter establish a general correlation between karma and spheres of rebirth, text chapter 5, section 1.3 specifies the underlying karmic causes for the manifest differences in human life. It does so with reference to a well-known saying of the Buddha. Beings are owners of their karma, heirs of their karma. They originate from their karma, are bound to their karma, have their karma as their refuge. It is karma that distinguishes beings as inferior and superior. We have encountered this quote before in the Noble Effort Path book, if you can recall. The sutta proposes to explain this statement with regard to 7 pairs of contrasting qualities observed among people. This text also introduces a distinction between 2 types of consequences that an unwholesome karma can have. The more powerful is rebirth in a bad destination. The other is unpleasant fruits within the human state. For example, a short lifespan for one who in an earlier life killed living beings. An analogous distinction obtains among the consequences that a wholesome karma can have. The more powerful is rebirth in a heavenly world. The other is pleasant fruits within the human state. So this again talks about the consequences of unwholesome karma and wholesome karma. For unwholesome karma, you will be reborn in a bad destination and also possibly unpleasant fruits within our human state, human life. For example, a short lifespan. If in our previous life we killed a lot of living beings, and if in this present life we kill a lot of living beings, like even for animals, maybe in the future life we will get the consequences. Conversely, it's similar with a wholesome karma. If we do a lot of wholesome karma, then we will be reborn in heavenly worlds, in the heavenly world. And if not, we will have a pleasant fruits within the human states. Okay, next section, Sister Saikyang, would you like to read?
The next section deals with merit, punya, wholesome karma capable of yielding favorable results within the cycle of rebirth. Merit produces mundane benefits as well as such as a good rebirth, wealth, beauty, and success. It also serves as an enhancing condition for supramundane benefits, that is, for attaining the stages along the path to enlightenment. Hence, as seen in text chapter 5, section 2.1, the Buddha urges his disciples to cultivate merit, referring to his own cultivation of merit over many previous lives as an example. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Sister Saikyang. Okay, so now in this paragraph, we talk mainly about merits. What exactly is a merit? Here it's mentioned wholesome karma capable of yielding favorable results within the cycle of rebirth. Merit can produce a lot of mundane benefits such as good rebirth, wealth, beauty, and success. Additionally, it also serves an enhancing condition for our practice of the Dharma, supramundane benefits for attaining the stages along the path of enlightenment. And that is why the Buddha urges us to cultivate merit. Okay, next one is the Kim. Would you like to read?
The Nikayas concisely organize the types of merit into three bases of meritorious deeds: Punya, Kiriyan, Vatu, giving, moral discipline, and meditation. Text 5, section 2.2, connects the basis of merits with the types of rebirth to which they lead. In the Indian religious context, the practice of meritorious deeds revolves around faith in certain objects regarded as sacred and spiritually empowering, capable of serving as a support for the acquisition of merit. For followers of the Buddha's teaching, these are the three jewels: the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. Text 5, section 2.3 extols this as each supreme in its particular sphere. The Buddha is supreme among persons, the Dharma among teachings, and the Sangha among religious communities. The text proposes an interesting twofold distinction of the Dharma jewel. Among all conditioned things, Dhamma Sankata, the Noble Eightfold Path, is the supreme among all things conditioned or unconditioned. Dhamma Sankata Va, Asa Sankata Va. Nibbana is supreme. Merely having confidence in the three jewels, that is, reverential trust and devotion towards them, is itself a basis of merit. But as the verses attached to the sutta make clear, the Buddha and the Sangha additionally function as the recipients of gifts. In this role, they further enable donors to acquire merit, leading to the fulfillment of their virtuous wishes. More will be said about this aspect of merit just below. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Sister Kim. This paragraph expands merits further. Firstly, divide merits into three bases. Three bases of meritorious deeds. This is the term. Highlight. What are these three? Giving, moral discipline, and meditation. So in the Indian religious times, in those contexts, it revolves around faith in certain objects, regarded as spiritually empowering. But for the followers of the Buddha's teachings, for us it's three jewels: the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. Okay, just having confidence in the three jewels is itself already a base of merit. But additionally, they also function as the recipients of gifts. So if we dana to the Buddha or the Sangha, it will enable us to acquire merit, leading to fulfillment of our wishes. And merits will be expanded further below. Sister Shomei, would you like to continue reading?
The following sections of this chapter elaborate on the three bases of merit individually, beginning in section 3 with giving or generosity. The Buddha often treated giving as the most rudimentary virtue of the spiritual life. For giving serves to break down the egocentric frame of mind on the basis of which we habitually interact with others. Contrary to what a Western reader might expect, however, giving for early Buddhism does not mean simply philanthropic charity directed towards the poor and disadvantaged. While it includes this, the practice of giving has a more context-specific meaning rooted in the social structure of Indian religiosity. In India, during the Buddha's time, those who sought to fathom the deepest root truths of existence and attain release from the round of birth and death usually renounced home and family, relinquished their secure place in the cohesive Indian social order, and adopted the precarious life of the homeless wanderer. With shaved heads or matted locks, clad in ochre or white robes, or going naked, they would move from place to place without fixed abode, except during the 3 months of the rainy season, when they would settle in simple huts, caves, or other lodgings. Such homeless wanderers, known as samanas, ascetics, or paribhajakas, wanderers, did not perform any remunerative services, but depended upon the charity of householders for their livelihood. The lay devotees provided them with their material requisites, robes, food, lodgings, and medicines, doing so in the confidence that such services were a source of merit that will help them advance a few steps further in the direction of final emancipation.
Thanks, Sister Shami, for reading this long paragraph. Okay. Here, Bhikkhu Bodhi expands about the first base of merits, which is giving or generosity, dana. So here, Bhikkhu Bodhi added that giving for early Buddhism does not mean simply a charity directed toward the poor and disadvantaged. Yeah. Giving does include this, but the practice of giving has a more context specific during those times. So here, Bhikkhu Bodhi talks about renouncing home and family. Yeah. So this is also another form of giving. And for those lay devotees who provide these ascetics, these samanas, yeah, the one who renounce, if we provide them with their material requisites, robes, food, lodgings, and medicines, they will acquire a source of merits that will help them advance a few steps further in their practice. Okay, let's read one more. Sister Billy, would you like to read?
When Buddha appeared on the scene, he adopted this mode of life for himself. Once he commenced his work as a spiritual teacher, he established his Sangha on the same principle. The bhikkhus and bhikkhunis, the monks and nuns, would depend on the charity of others for their material support, and they would reciprocate by offering their donors the more precious gift of the Dhamma, the teaching of the lofty path that leads to happiness, peace, and final liberation. Text 5, section 3.5 testifies to this principle of mutual support. By accepting the gifts of lay people, the monastics give them the opportunity to acquire merit. Since the volume of merit generated by the act of giving is considered to be proportional to the worthiness of the recipient, when the recipients are the Buddha, and those following in his footsteps. The merit becomes immeasurable. See Majjhima Nikaya 142, not included in this anthology. For this reason, the Sawaka Sangha, the spiritual community of noble disciples, is called the unsurpassed field of merit for the world. Anuttarang Punya Puna Kitang Lokasa gives to the Sangha, it is said, conduce to great blessings. They lead to one's welfare and happiness for a long time and can bring rebirth in the heavenly worlds. But as text 5, section 3.6 reminds us, this is true only for the moral pure, not for the immoral.
Okay, thanks, Sister Billy. Let's take a look at footnotes number 8 first. The community of noble disciples consists of 4 pairs of persons, those who have entered the 4 paths and those who have realized the 4 fruits. See page 373. Yeah, this one we also have taken a look before in the Noble Eightfold Path book, if you can recall, starting from the stream enterer, yeah, to once returner, non-returner, and arahant. So these are the 4 pairs of persons. So here, this paragraph talks about how the Buddha established the Sangha, yeah, where there is in modern terms, we call this a win-win situation. The Sangha receives support from the lay devotees, and the lay devotees acquire merits in returns. And not just that, by providing support to the Sangha, it enables them to expound the Dharma. And that is how the lay devotees can benefit from this system of Sangha, of bhikkhus and bhikkhunis. And this line here, you might have seen this quite often, the unsurpassed field of merit for the world. Yeah. So this paragraph explains why it is called this way. Yeah. Okay, I think this is a good time to stop. Anything you would like to add, or any questions or comments?
Can we go back to the line about proportionate to the worthiness of the recipients?
That one.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I think it's this one. Yeah.
The volume of merit generated by the act of giving is considered to be proportional to the worthiness.
Yes.
When the recipients are the Buddha, and of course the merits become measurable. But I'm just wondering how to interpret this in the context of if the recipient, it's like how you offer dana to help, whether it's the dying or the needy in Sri Lanka who needs oxygenators, or whether it is just somebody who's very, very needy. The voluntary act of giving cannot be, it seemed to understate the importance of charity. I'm just wondering how this should be interpreted in that context.
Actually, that's a really good question. But I would say this one, the line here, worthiness of the recipient, is just one of the factors that affects the quality of the merits that you acquire. There is another factor as well, as for example, your intention. How pure is your intention? For example, let's say if I give, in Indonesia, there are a lot of beggars, So, or maybe in the Singapore context, we can say we can help the aunties who sell tissue. Yeah. Some people can be rude to the auntie. Yeah. For example, if I say I want to help the auntie, but I I take out my wallet, take out the cash and throw it to the floor. Yeah. So my intention is not that pure. So it does affect the quality of the merit as well, regardless of the recipients. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, the
Um,
intention is important, I guess.
Yeah, I just want to add on, besides the intention, Sister Shome is asking about this proportional worthiness of the recipient. So when we look at recipients like the Buddha, without the Buddha, there will not be Dharma that he expounds. And if he doesn't expound the Dharma, many sentient beings will not benefit from the Dharma, which can lead us to liberate ourselves in this life, you know. So you can do a lot of charity work. You can help the poor, the needy. But after helping them, what benefit can they give to the sentient, to all the sentient beings? And only the Buddha is the one, you know, that
Yeah.
realizes the Dharma and found the Dharma. I mean, realizes the truth and pass it down. So after the Buddha will be the Sanghas. Without the Sanghas, you know, then we will not benefit from the Dharma if it's not passed down to us. So in that way, that's why I think that stress the importance of the recipient. That means if you offer something within the Sangha, you offer to an Arahant, you offer to a non-returner and once returner. There's also a difference in merits because the Arahants are the one that perfected their, you know, their virtues. They have rid themselves of all defilements and their teachings, you know, can benefit, and their way of living, their moral discipline, you know, can be such a good example to guide so many sentient beings. So I think.
Yeah, I think, thanks sister, thanks Marcel. I think it's easy to understand that the merits that you offer to the Buddha is really, can be overwhelming. It's really the best that, you know, you can get. Okay, to put it in very big. I'm actually saying it on the flip side. Let me flip the situation for you. We all are very tianchen, you know, we will go and offer puja every day and religiously. But let's say we treat our parents badly, you know. So then how do you, so that it seems incomplete to say, you know, you look at the Buddha, you know, offering to the Buddha, but you treat your own birth parents very badly.
That is the defilements of the sentient beings, because Buddha did tell us and preach and tell us that we have to, you know, besides the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, what's the next most important person in your life to take care of is your parents. You know, from the Siga Lova Sutta, is it previously we have read? Yeah. So Buddha always guide lay followers to do merit, to do good. So it is those that doesn't follow this teaching ended up that, oh, I only want to acquire merit when I offer the dana, I go for puja and all that. I want, it's because of the self, you know, the lack of insight, I would say, the lack of wisdom, that not by reciting, chanting, that, you know, we can accumulate merits. Also because, like what you say, being filial to your parents is one way of cultivating wholesome actions also. Yeah. So that I believe is the part that the sentient beings are not doing and following the Dharma. rather than, you know, the, how do you say, the, what is your question? That means a person's priority. That means yeah. So that is, I suppose, the individual's way of understanding and learning and putting into practice the Dharma. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Thanks for the question and thanks for answering, Sister Saikyang. Actually, additionally, I would think as well. Well, when you dana to the Sangha, for example, and then you will receive that wholesome merits. If you treat your parents badly, then separately you will receive, unwholesome fruits as its consequences. So your results will be like mixed together. Yeah. So does it make sense? I would say hopefully there's not many people like that, but of course there could be some people like that. Yeah. So regardless, depending on how pure your intention is, if you do good stuff on one hand and do bad stuff on the other hand, then of course your results will not be the ideal.
But it's a good point that Sister Shomi bring up. Yeah, sometimes when we do right, we we really neglect our, you know, what is important and what is the Buddha's teaching. Yeah, we have the wrong idea that only when I go and attend puja, then that is wholesome. You know, no, that's not true, because previously I remember she would say, you serve a cup of water every day to your father. Have you ever done that? Have you speak nicely to them? You know, that is one way of offering dana, giving also.
Yeah. Actually, if you are involved in Buddhist community, you would probably encounter some of these people before. Yeah.
I think it's not just Buddhism. I think it's in all kinds of religion you will find.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Okay, I think this is a good discussion. Thanks for the question. Yeah, thanks for contributing. Anything anyone else would like to add?
I think Sister Shomi has raised a very important question. It will always be a very practical point for our practice. In this context, right, that word proportional is caught my eyes because we start to weigh, right, what gives us more. So yeah, that caught my eyes too. Thank you so Shomi for bringing up that. In this case, right, I was thinking Bhikkhu Bodhi actually has already maybe set the context, because in the paragraph before, he did say that he is like saying that, this giving here, in the early Buddhism, we're not really emphasizing on giving to the general giving. It's more to giving to those who have really renounced. So in that way, I think he has probably subtly already leading us to thinking giving in the context of giving those who have renounced, not really like giving to the general giving to the society. It's actually just at the paragraph before where he says the Buddha often treated giving as the most rudimentary virtue of the spiritual life, for giving serves to break down the ego-centric frame of mind on the basis of which we habitually interact with others. Contrary to what a Western reader might expect, however, giving for early Buddhism does not mean simply philanthropic charity directed towards the poor and disadvantaged. So while it includes this, the practice of giving has more context-specific meaning rooted in the social structure of Indian religiosity. So I feel that he already set the context that in this chapter when he gives the explain giving is a higher, perhaps I would say a different merit of giving. So just on this my observation. So, but giving is a big topic because of our own defilements. So we do always weigh this, weigh that. So yeah, I always have this, when these things come to my mind, I always think of somebody who goes to the temple and give a lot of dana, and then when they come out, they see someone poor outside the dana, outside the temple, they ignore totally. So yeah, giving also can be very tricky.
Coincidentally, I was talking to my cousin who's also very, into Buddhist studies. When we're talking about the 6 parameters, I said that actually, I don't know, we were talking about patience, because patience is one of the, patience, endurance, acceptance is one of the parameters. And I was saying, yeah, actually the first one, generosity, dana, is the easiest. So we had this private joke. We say that the Buddha probably thought that if you can't even do dana, practice generosity, forget about the rest.
Okay. Thanks for adding on, Sister Billy, and also Sister Shirley.
Maybe I just want to add one last point, because just now listening to Sister Billy, it just occurred to me that in some suttas, they're saying that you can, in a lot of lives, practice giving as in giving charity, giving, that type of giving, but in many lives you practice that. It is incomparable to if you give somebody a Dharma teaching. Yeah, if you expound the Dharma to somebody, that will supersede your many lives of that charity giving. So Dharma is still to me the most important, because it's like give the person fish or teaching him how to fish, that kind of thing. That means if you give him Dharma, he can find a way to liberate himself from this samsara. There's a chance. But if he's hungry all the time and just feed him food, he only retains this physical body, but he doesn't cultivate the mind, which is more important. Yeah, that is this aspect of Dharma as superior to just giving charity. Yeah.
Yes.
So one other point to add on to Sister Saikyang's, and my personal take, this is my personal take, for many of us who are involved in Buddhist voluntary work, at the activity level, at the events level, we are very good at, just raise funds, just each one $10, we're very good at doing that kind of thing. Or just get enough food to start distribution. But the reality is that can only sustain people for a while. After a while, the whole madness, the whole cycle start all over again. The question is, for those of us who are slightly empowered with more experience, maybe capabilities, how can we elevate the support structures within the Buddhist community? Less of course, there will always be people who want to go and distribute fan chai and everything for their daily needs, and we need that. But the question is, how do we take it further so that all these activities can be run more in a more sustainable way? It's just a thought.
Yeah, I think we lack this field. I agree with you. And I just want to share is like Bante Gunaratana, I follow him to do food distribution. So his explanation is, if the people are hungry, they wouldn't even have the thought of want to learn Dharma. So you have to feed their stomach first, and then while giving, there is a chance that he will invite the recipients to come to his temple, to come and attend puja, to come and attend Dharma sharing. So in this way, it is a doorway also for people who haven't even encountered with Dharma before, but at least you are planting wholesome seeds. You are giving them food. So they respect Bante. They know that, oh, this Sangha is doing meritorious deed, is giving food to us and kind of thing. And yeah, once in a while we have recipients coming to the temple to come and see Bante, to say thank you to him, and then to attend the puja. So in this way, we lead them into to teach them Dharma. Yeah, that's one way. So like what Sister Shomi said, it's still important to provide the necessity for this group of people. Yeah.
Okay, thanks everyone for the discussion. I think it was an interesting one. Okay, if nothing more to add, let's
Those-
do dedications. Is that okay?
回向，愿消三障诸烦恼，愿得智慧真明了，不愿罪障悉消除，世世常行菩萨道。阿弥陀佛。
Thanks, Sister Akim. Till we meet again, may we be guided by the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha. Have a generous Wednesday ahead. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.
See you guys. Bye-bye.